Days 129 and 130 of the Young Thug YSL RICO trial were stupid. Several police officers and a custodian of records for VERIZON testified, and over the weekend Quindarius Zachary was arrested by the state to force him to testify soon. The state is saying he's been avoiding them, but of course there's more to the story. Quindarius Zachary is sick with sickle cell anemia, and he's been in and out of the hospital apparently around 10 times and had to get blood transfusions. And now Fulton County District Attorney's Office got a warrant to arrest him, signed by Judge Whitaker, and they're gonna force him to testify soon. And they put him in a jail where he could potentially die because the conditions are so bad. So Fulton County Corruption's Office once again proving how shitty they are. Hit subscribe. Let's get right into this video, boys. Here we go. First look at Thug on day 130. The green knit sweater on.
The state owes me hard copies of correspondence to do an in-camera review. Is that right?
It's being finalized.
Okay, so that was supposed to be to me first thing this morning because I need to actually do the in-camera reviews. When is it going to be? Obviously, I'm not going to be looking at it before lunchtime, but I specifically said first thing this morning. So I need it by the time we break for lunch because I'm planning to start looking at it at lunch.
No surprise, Miss Love's already in some hot water. So first witness is a police officer pertaining to the 2015 shooting I think we were covering last week.
And how long have you been employed with the Atlanta Police Department?
Approaching 14 years.
What is your title?
Police officer.
Okay.
4:06 hours that morning, I was dispatched to a person shot.
And were you wearing a body cam that day?
No.
Okay, why not?
Body cams had not been issued at that point.
Kind of crazy that body cams weren't a thing. Nowadays we see so much body cam footage and sometimes it tells a different story than what, witnesses say or police officers say, so.
Upon my arrival, I saw shell casings in the street, driveway, property damage. Front of the house had been shot up. Vehicles in the driveway had been shot. I think one vehicle in the street also damaged by gunfire.
Just a brief introduction. All right, I think you got it.
So no, we didn't.
I can't believe there's still audio issues. I don't even know what to say.
If you look at the picture to the right with the white metal gate.
Okay. And you described the shirt he was wearing that you said had Fam America on it somewhere. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And when you saw that shirt, did it have any value to you when you saw that name?
Fam America at the time was a prominent gang in the area.
I'm going to object as to improper foundation and move to strike.
Can you lay the foundation?
Sure. I can ask a few more questions. Sure.
Sometimes that we get information from investigators to keep an eye out for this type of clothing or these type of tattoos that would indicate gang affiliation.
Okay, and was that your first time seeing it?
Excuse me, I'm going to object to that testimony again. That's to be struck. It violates our ability, confrontation of our ability to question where this information is coming from. It is hearsay. I'll ask that be struck.
Overruled.
Defense lawyers don't like detectives or police officers speaking about gangs like it's a fact. I don't like the whole gang expert bullshit. This guy's not a gang expert. He's just a police officer that probably knows some shit, but is it the right place in court?
Did that language on that sweatshirt have any value to you as a law enforcement officer with such training and effect?
Your Honor, I'll renew my objection. You say there's not proper foundation to this facility.
I'm sustained at this point.
Okay.
Spoke with the person who was struck by gunfire.
Orienting you back to what you said when you met the individual, the male, at his front door. Can you describe around or about his age?
He looked to be in his mid to upper 20s.
Okay. What was his demeanor?
He was calm.
When he entered the home, did you actually, in fact, see an injured party?
Yes.
And where about in the home do you recall her being?
She was in a rear room of a residence.
Were you ever given a name for the male that met you at the front gate door that you described her?
No.
Did he remain the entire time that you were completing the course of your investigation?
No.
And do you recall at what point he left the property?
While I was speaking with the victim, he left. I asked where he went. Nobody knew.
I'm going to object to the hearsay.
The answer is nobody knew anyway. So.
What are we looking at here?
That's the front face of Crucial.
Is Club Crucial still open and functioning by any chance?
Yes, it is, but...
All right, something just happened. Where's the sidebar? And now the jury's excused. Now here is Quindarius Zachary's lawyer. If you don't know, Quindarius Zachary was arrested. State says he was avoiding being a witness or whatever, so they put in a warrant to get him arrested that the judge actually signed. Miss Whitaker signed.
All right, what's your name? Okay, I'm sorry, I haven't seen you in a while. You look familiar to me, but...
Everybody thinks I'm dead.
Okay. Are you asking to approach without the defense?
No, they can say,
60% of you aren't subscribed. Come on, hit the subscribe bell.
I represent Mr. Backus, and he was picked up on a fear witness. I would ask the court to release him. He's got sickle cell bad. When he was picked up, he was just taken to the hospital. They had to do 2 blood replacements, transfusions.
2 blood transfusions. He has sickle cell.
He's in full-time jail. He's at pneumonia. He will not live, Judge. Talk to the family.
He will not live.
In the last 4 months, he's been in out of the hospital 10 times. He's extremely sick. He will not survive. I would ask that he be released, and I'm going to be in touch with him. He will come to court, and we ask him to come to court.
Go ahead.
No, he won't do it.
All right, So the information I got this morning, and y'all, this is actually what I wanted to discuss on the record. Had we at the bench conference, had we gotten started at 8:45, like I asked for us to get started. So anyway, no, this has nothing to do with that. But the information that I got this morning from the sheriff's office was that he is in Grady.
Yeah.
So I don't know how recent your information is.
I talked to family 2 a.m.
Well, we've spoken with the sheriff has informed us since that time, and that was what I wanted to bring to the court's attention.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
So in the middle of the night, they transferred him back from the jail to the hospital.
Judge, and I think that this is a matter that I can speak to Mr. Schott about. I don't know if he wants to fully flesh it out now, but I did want to approach the court with the information and the defense with the information we had. There's more information than just that.
Okay, why don't we just, let's have a bench conference. But I would like to be able to just talk about it without them all huddling at the bench. So just don't record this, please.
So they're very private about this situation. She keeps asking throughout the day to turn off the camera.
Okay, well, did you just find it after I said, is there anything else before we get the jury in? Okay, give it to me really fast. Ms. Brown, did you hear what you just said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry? Well, you know what? I'm sorry, but you didn't introduce yourself, and so I was just taking a stab at it. What's your name? Okay, so what was wrong with me saying Mr. Brown? No, I didn't. I said Mr. Brown. I just slide my words into each other sometimes. So. Okay. Thank you.
What just happened? He was upset at her calling him Mr. Brown. He misheard her. Oh, dude, I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'll try to look at it on the fly here, and
So they just called the jury back in, and all of a sudden there's another case that contradicts what the state just said before that Mr. Matthews found.
All right. Before the break, you indicated that you spoke with an Anthony Travis. Do you recall that statement?
That's correct.
All right. Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what it is that you spoke with him about?
Mr. Travis said that before the shooting occurred, there was
Hank, the subject matter, not what he said.
Sure. The subject matter, without saying what he said.
he witnessed the shooting occur.
Did he describe, if at all, if he saw the person who conducted the shooting?
He did.
Okay. Were you able to, from that conversation with Mr. Travis, were you able to make out a description of what the person he saw without saying what he said?
So what I want you to focus on is what would make a difference with regard to this exception. Time and...
How long after you arrived to the scene of the shooting did you interact with Mr. Travis? About how long after?
About 15, 20 minutes.
Did he give you details about what he saw regarding the shooting that took place prior to your arrival?
He did.
And
Miss Love is literally whispering in his ear the questions to ask.
without saying what Mr. Travis said, was Mr. Travis able to describe what the shooter did?
He was, yes.
All right, Max Shard up for cross.
You arrived at the scene, and it sounds like within 15 to 20 minutes you were speaking to a Mr. Travis.
Anthony Travis, yes.
Okay. And he gave you a description of the person whom he saw shooting at 1428 Adele Avenue, correct?
Correct.
He described that, and he gave a description also of a car, correct?
That's correct.
He said one car left the scene, one car, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and he described the person shooting a gun that had a banana clip, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and he described that individual as a black male.
That's correct.
Short black male, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and did you get a height range, or was it just short?
I believe it was just short.
Okay, and he described that gentleman as having dreadlocks, correct?
That's correct.
The shooter being short black male with dreadlocks.
That's correct.
Shard's pulling out some pictures of someone.
Do you see a date on that post?
Objection, Judge, relevance.
I don't know what
So
it is.
Do you see a gentleman in a plaid maroon and black and white shirt?
Yes.
Does that gentleman have dreadlocks in
I'm
that
going to
picture?
object on the same basis that we had objection as for continual objections, but for the reason that
Okay.
She's overruling all the state's objections here.
Does that gentleman have dreadlocks in that picture?
No.
Okay. And what is the date of that post, if you can read it?
4/28/2015.
Is that the same day as this incident that you were referring to in your testimony here today?
Yes.
413Y, is that another picture of that gentleman?
Yes.
And you would agree that that picture also shows that he does not have dreadlocks?
That's correct.
So he's just trying to show the jury that the description of the shooter doesn't match pictures of Shannon Stillwell. Oh, that's it for cross on Max Shard. All right.
do you know,
Shannon Stillwell?
No.
do you know when that picture was taken?
The date says 4.
I want to ask you, I asked you to answer the question. Yes, go ahead.
It's timestamp. Yes.
Okay. Do you know that that was the date that the picture was taken or the date that it was posted?
I'm not sure.
Right. Do you know Shannon Stillwell in the plaid?
No.
Do you know when that picture was taken?
It's timestamped 4/28/2015, 11:50 a.m.
Do you know if that was the time that it was taken or the time that it was posted?
I do not know.
Did Mr. Travis show you a picture of the shooter on the day of April 28, 2015?
No. Mr. Anthony Travis told me that prior to the shooting, a black vehicle was sitting to the west of the residence, 1428 Adele Avenue. Black male with dreads, short black male with dreads, got out and started shooting at the house with a machine gun that had a banana clip.
He said banana clip?
He got into the shooter did go back to the same black vehicle and leave in the black vehicle.
Okay. Do you know if Shannon Stillwell was driving that vehicle?
No.
Do you know a Tritavia Stevens?
No.
Do you know Trontavious Stevens is 5'4"?
No.
Do you know if he wears dreads that are innocent?
No.
Do you know if Mr. Trontavious Stevens is a member of YSL?
No.
And about how many rounds of shell casings were found on the scene to your recollection?
32.
Do you know how many people were inside the vehicle based on what Mr. Travis communicated to you on that vehicle?
I do not.
Another police officer that was involved in the crime scene side of things of the shooting.
About how many crime scenes would you say you've processed in your 30-year career?
Maybe around 7,000, 8,000.
Bro's been working 30 years.
That was basically a photo of the street area on Adel Avenue.
Bullet holes on the cars out front, bullet holes on the window.
Each shell casing where they were actually made.
Objection 403, cumulative, waste of time.
No, these are separate photos and they're all actually truncated.
I always love the waste of time objections for the defense. They're like, please, love of God, let's hurry this up.
Showing you State's Exhibit 52, Kappa Kappa. What,
Same objection, Your Honor, cumulative, waste of time.
Right. I mean, at some point, it certainly becomes that. So please, utilize the ones that are necessary to be able to tell the.
All right, another police officer on the stand. Defense lawyers didn't cross-examine the last one.
Are you currently post-certified? Yes, sir. And Officer Hill, were you post-certified on the night of April 27th going into April 28th of 2015?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything from domestic violence to break-ins, car break-ins, burglaries, people being shot, damage to property. So anything you think of, it happens on one. Shots fired call, I think a fight called the Crucial that night towards the beginning and middle of the shift. Usually we have incidents that happen in Crucial that carry over into the neighborhood. So yes, we were on alert that night due to the shots fired in the fight. Her apartment was damaged from a rear balcony. So when I entered the apartment, I went to the direction of the rear balcony. She pointed out where her damages were, and we was like in the living room area of the balcony.
And was her apartment, was it on the first floor, second floor, or?
First floor.
Now, did you know before speaking this battle what kind of call you were responding to initially?
Yes.
What kind of call was that?
It was a shots fired call.
Is it towards the toe or the heel of that shoe?
Towards the heel.
So this is all great. It's been a lot of like boring testimony today about crime scene photos and shit. It's cool, but I'm waiting for the connection to YSL and some of the defendants. I haven't really heard much specifically, but.
So are all of these yellow placards in the street outside of 1903 Drew Drive indicative of shell casings or projectiles in the street?
Yes.
Officer Hill, you may answer. How many times have you responded to shots fired or a fight at 2517 Donnelly Hollowell Club Crucial?
A lot.
And by a lot, is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 1,000?
At that time, maybe a few hundred.
A few hundred at one club? They need to shut that place down. All right, they're bringing the phone records in with this lady. This is what I've been wanting to see. I want to see phone records that puts some of these guys at crime scenes or in vehicles or whatever. So apparently she's bringing in a lot of phone records too for like over the base of like years. Shout out Thugger Daily for all this information.
This is one of the explanation sheets that we provide for the call details, and it explains each column that's encompassed in the record. It's the name that's listed on the account.
And what was that name?
Sean Hall.
And is this a prepaid or postpaid account?
This is a prepaid account.
So is that same concept? Sean Hall could be the person or could be any name that they chose?
Correct. That just means that this phone number, it's not a Verizon number, but it's one of our resellers that uses our towers for service.
And what reseller was this?
TracFone.
Miss Hilton busted out the marker and sheet of paper again. I want to kill myself. Brian's still up for cross on this lady with the about the phone records.
I'm specifically focusing on the text message content column. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yes.
And you said something to the effect, Verizon does not verify the accuracy of the content of those words. Something like that. Is that correct?
In so many words.
Can you do me a favor? What happens, like if I was to send you a text and I asked, how are you? On the records, it may not come out like that. Is that what you're telling the jury?
That is a possibility.
Why is that?
There could be a lot of factors, but I wouldn't have the factors to provide to you.
Do you know when, like, something is verbatim versus something's not verbatim? Do we have any type of, if you look at the records, any type of knowing, like, hey, this is not accurate, but this one is?
Yeah, I would not be able to provide that. I don't have that information to.
No, I understand. It's beyond your, okay. So you just can't verify that column?
Correct.
How about the other columns? Are they fairly accurate?
All of the columns are fairly accurate, but I wouldn't be able to say with 100% certainty the text message content is exactly what was said.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the point he just wanted to get in front of the jury. The text message shit isn't 100% accurate.
Correspondence between the state and various attorneys for co-defendants who pled.
The in-camera inspection of all the emails between the state and other co-defendants that pled out, because the defense obviously found out about emails with Antonio Sledge's attorney.
And some of them are really thin, so it's easy enough for me to just sort through it, but some of them are fairly thin, 2/3 of an inch.
I know, and that was
And they are in, she essentially, I guess I see where she got the idea that I, as the judge, had been the one that said she had to testify. Not really, but I get where she got it, because at some point the investigator says, so we'll let the judge know, and Ms. Hilton will let the judge know that you don't want to appear. And it was in the context of appearing on camera. I mean, I guess she took from that, oh man, they still gave me a subpoena, so the judge said I have to appear, when that's not in fact what happened. But there wasn't anything nefarious going on. It was just a kind of a misunderstanding misunderstanding, I guess, on her part about that she wants everybody, prosecution and defense, to know that she does not consider herself a witness. I'm sorry, a victim. She does not consider herself a victim. She doesn't look at herself that way. It's a surprise to her that anybody thinks she's a victim, given that this was sort of collateral damage to her apartment. Her apartment wasn't targeted. If she is called to testify, I think she's very much going to make that clear from the stand.
What a disaster. The state wants this lady to come in, that her apartment was shot up or whatever. She wants to make it clear she's not a victim and she doesn't feel like a victim.
Are we ready to deal with any other non-jury matters right now? I really need y'all to get that way soon, though, because we keep having these unexpected non-jury hours, so...
Dude, she's so over this. So Detective Thorpe's back is f***ed up. Quindarius Zachary is sick, so they don't know when he's going to come in, but it sounds like they're going to make him testify, which is kind of crazy. He shouldn't have never been arrested, because he could actually die in Rice Street with the conditions in there. That's pretty much it for day 129 and 130. Pretty boring testimony. They arrested another witness that doesn't want to testify and is so sick that he could potentially die, and they're going to force him to testify, is that what it sounds like at some point. Honestly, seems like the state is desperate. So yeah, hit subscribe, join the channel membership. Love you guys. Peace out.